So, welcome, Chris Frederick. Thank you for your time. Tell me a bit about yourself. Who is Chris Frederick?
55-year-old Star Wars fan living in Northwest London, deep experience of mental illness and suicidality, now turning all of that experience and knowledge into advocacy work, and supporting organizations, the NHS, various charities, and universities and think tanks to think more laterally about how they go about supporting the needs, particularly for marginalized communities. And of course, from my perspective, the ethnicity lens is one of the priorities that I focus on. So I'm kept quite busy these days because there is a genuine lack of men willing to speak up and out about this stuff. So I'm kept quite busy in terms of participating in a wide range of different projects. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
And in true Talk Club style, we're going to do a check-in. So, how are you out of 10 today? 10 being the best you've ever felt.
I would say honestly, I'm at a six, and I say that honestly, Sam, because it is that's 2 points lower than when I was a month ago, and there are particular reasons for that. And I think because of the amount of work I've been doing on my own mental well-being, I'm now so tuned in to when that number changes that I can tell you it's a six, and I know exactly why, and I know exactly what I need to do to get it back up to an eight. I wouldn't have been able to have that conversation with you a few years ago because I wasn't aware.
Brilliant, brilliant. And what would get your number up today?
Well, when my new fan arrives from Amazon at 3 o'clock, which is a super expensive fan, I will be very, very, very happy to be just lying in a cool bedroom for the rest of this afternoon. So I know that will help. And again, some people say, Chris, you like to joke and jest about this sort of serious stuff, but I qualify it by saying that because I'm on antidepressants, they actually really do affect your body heat. And also because of my age and my hypertension and high blood pressure,
Mm.
that I also take medication for, this sort of weather, as beautiful as it is, Sam, actually really has quite a negative effect on me. I'm a smoker. When I go outside into the garden to have a smoke, I'll usually smoke two, but it's too hot for me, so I'll have one, and then I'll rush back in to my room where the blinds are shut and the fan will be on full blast. That's not a healthy way to live, but it's me being very honest with you. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you, Chris. But yeah, I feel you about the fan because it is super hot today.
yeah.
Okay, so let's jump straight in. What does therapy mean to you?
Well, for me, it's been a life-changing opportunity. I register all my appointments and now I'm at 52 hours. It's been probably 9 months since my last therapy session. And I'm at that point now where I think I actually need to get back into therapy. Because what I've done is I started off with the CBT, the standard. I did the six and then had a break for 3 months, then did another six. So that's how it's been for the last 4 years.
Mm.
But over the last two sessions, the last two sort of block sessions, I've been experimenting in taking a little bit more time off between each grouping. And 9 months is just about that time where I'm beginning to see, hence the 6 out of 10, I'm beginning to recognize that I think I need another positive injection of therapy just to even things out a little bit. Yeah.
Right. So you're really able to see that difference of
Yeah.
what therapy brings to your mental health.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky last year. I fell across a opportunity to spend time with a black therapist, which was something that I was, sorely looking for a number of years. I kept being told by the system that no, 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 Chris, we don't have any black therapists available. If you're insistent and you do want a black therapist, you may have to wait way beyond the 6 weeks waiting list. You might have to wait 6 months, of which, that was unacceptable. So I've just been accepting what's been given to me. And as a service industry with that kind of power, to determine what myself as a service end user is given for me is unacceptable. So I was always looking online for different chances. And when I found this one through LinkedIn, I jumped at it. And to your point, to our earlier conversation, Sam, this was a block of 10 sessions, and I hadn't experienced that. Those first two and those last two were really so important in terms of sandwiching all the core work that we did in the six, but building the trust at the beginning, and then making sure that there was a very nice exit. There was a future strategy plan, and it was a nice way for it all to end. So I love it, but as an industry, I still remain quite, what's the word? I'm very observant. I'm very cognizant that there is much work that still needs to be done in that sector. But I'm just one man. I'm just one advocate. Many people may disagree with me, but I speak up and out about this stuff quite avidly. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right, Chris, because you are the service user at the end of the day, so it's your
Yeah.
experience.
Hmm.
Thank you for sharing. And how can we support more men to access therapy?
This is the $1 million question. And if I had the right answer for you, I would probably be, you know, one of the undersecretaries of mental health in the UK government, which would be an unenviable job at the best of times. But I mean, I look across the men, the peers that I have in the industry that have come through lived experience as I have, and I listen to their stories, and they're not too dissimilar to mine in that it was always so much harder in the beginning, you know, having the guts to actually say, I need help and I'm prepared to accept help without feeling less than a man. That was always the first issue. And then trying to navigate your way through this maze of different service opportunities to figure out what's the best fit for me, where am I going to feel
Mm.
most comfortable, and who am I going to be willing to share my story with, because that's what it really comes down to, isn't it? I mean, if I said to you, from the very first therapist I saw, I only gave her 60% of my story because I didn't trust her. But when I spoke to the black therapist, I still held a little bit back in reserve because it was like, just how much do you want to reveal? Let's say I gave her 85%. Will I ever reach 100%? Probably never. The only therapist I would ever give 100% to would be the man I see in the mirror when I talk to him every day. He's the only person I would give 100% honesty to. But it's difficult to, you know, as a man, to realize what you're prepared to reveal and how that will affect your own personal identity, your own personal security. So I think that, what you guys are doing, what other organizations are doing, peer groups, I think is a lovely way of working. I'm a trustee of IMROC, which is the UK's largest peer support training and consulting firm. And the reason why I wanted to be a trustee on their board was because I was a service end user of a recovery college. So I knew firsthand the impact. But now I'm beginning to have, because I'm a board, I get to see all the amazing work that they do across the entire industry, from autism, from disabilities, from mental provision and commissioning. But I still feel that there's a lot going on in the suburbia part of the UK, the white spaces in the UK. We've got to find a way to bring that knowledge and academic insight and not and experiences. We've got to bring that into the inner cities so that those black men out there feel that they don't need to turn to drugs or alcohol or abuse, that they do have a way out. And there aren't enough of us who have done it, who are using their power to influence the system. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Chris. Yeah, lots to think about there. Thank you. And just to finish, again, thank you so much for your time. A quick check out. I can't promise your numbers have gone up in the space of 5 minutes, but what would you check out as?
Still a six.
In the six?
Still a six. Yeah. Yeah. It takes a lot to move the needle for me. I'm an old man, so I move very slowly. But no, six is good. I mean, because it is Star Wars month, and this is one of my favorite times of the year. And people would be surprised at just how much preparation goes into this month. I was starting to prepare content for this at the end of last year's Star Wars month. So I start thinking about and writing and sketching and putting post-it notes on my wall of things that I want to talk about every Star Wars month. And this year is going to be a very special one.
Yeah, super excited. Thanks so much for your time, Chris.
You're most welcome.
Great to talk.
Thank you.